What's up, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. As y'all see, we got 4 watches, y'all. I've been running with 4 watches on for almost 2 months, and you may be like, Hellah, you're being too much, but guess what? I'm doing it for y'all, my beautiful people, so I can tell you to the best of my opinion which is the best watch for the bucks, for the money that you spend. And is it worth it? Is it accurate? Is the battery good? I got all the details for you guys, so let's go straight into it. So let's introduce the watches. We got the Wahoo. So Wahoo, for those who don't know, I didn't know until December when I was at the running event in Austin. Wahoo is a triathlon focused watch company, but they want to get more focused into the running world, so they gave me one of their watches over there. So this one I did not buy. And then we got the Apple. Now we switched from Series 5 from the last comparison, Garmin versus Apple. We got the Series 7. This is Apple. I bought myself. And we got a new watch, y'all. Y'all been saying it. We got the Coros Apex Pro. This is one I bought. And also we got the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro also that I bought. This is how I run, guys. Before watches like that, it looks like I'm crazy out there. Let's talk about the Series 7 Apple Watch over here. So the price for this is at $529. That's how I had to spend for that. That's quite pricey. 45 millimeters, that's the size of it. It's the smallest one of all 4 watches. I will say that this has a really good screen. I've hit it against stuff. It doesn't scratch. I don't know what kind of glass that they use for this. I have no clue. But if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. So this is the Apple Series 7. Now we got the Wahoo. This is called the Element Rival. Wahoo Element Rival. It feels the cheapest out of all of them. Yeah, this feels like a toy, but maybe that's not a problem either. So this is 46 millimeter, and it also has Gorilla Glass. I don't know what that means. Wahoo wasn't very specific with that. It says Gorilla Glass. It must be sturdy. But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's like a dry, hard plastic. This one is the cheapest of all the watches, $329. Now, let's go to the Garmin. Garmin's Fenix 6 Pro. This is a Fenix 7. I'm like, come on. Why do I not have the latest? The priciest of all. Garmin has dropped it in sale, and I went to look today. When I bought it, it was $749. It has the sapphire glass, and I think Garmin has said the truth about that. This one is 47 millimeters. I don't think it's worth $749. Now, let's move on to Coros. Coros, guys, many of you can say, hey, Hellah, you gotta get yourself a Coros. So you know what we did? We got the Coros Apex Pro right there. The reason I got the Apex Pro was the Apex, people were complaining about the single button and they wish there was something else for the backlight, and I'm glad I got it because there's multiple functionality to those. So this price is at $499. I said $500. $499 is the price for it. It is 47 millimeter, just like the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro. It says, according to Coros, it says that sapphire glass. I think it doesn't, but this is just my opinion, because one day I rubbed it against something, it was gentle. I'm like, this feels like it left a nice scratch, and it did. There's a nice little chunky, like I can feel it on the screen. So if this was sapphire, I think Garmin really has sapphire. It wouldn't be that, but maybe I'm unlucky with mine. Let's talk about look and feeling. Apple, I call it the sophisticated. It has this like, ooh, I'm classy, but it doesn't matter if you're classy or not. It's, can you do what you're supposed to do while being classy at the same time? But it does feel like it's very, very expensive. Apple does really well with that, with the frame. Apple is one of those watches where I'm scared to even bang it against anything. It makes you feel like that. It does feel really nice to put on. I can make it as tight as I want. The band is really nice, but out of 10, 10 being the nicest, I would rate the Apple band 6 out of 10, and I'll tell you why. Because over time, it feels like it gets harder and harder. I don't know if it's the sun or the climate or the water, but from brand new to later on, it gets hard. So I give it 6 out of 10. Wahoo. Wahoo feels like a toy. Not to be mean, I just want to be honest with you guys. It feels like something fun, which could be good too, because sometimes you don't want to have something too serious when you're scared to wear it, when you're scared to touch it, like how Apple is. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. The band is really soft. I give it 9 out of 10. It feels really comfortable. I can pull it. It's like rubber. Like you pull it, like it feels good on your skin. The surface, looking at it, it does look like it's cheap. It feels like it's plasticky. It doesn't feel like solid on your hand. And not that it doesn't make you feel classy, but it's like, it's whatever. I can go jump in mud puddle with this and I don't care. Which is also good. I'm that kind of guy. Because I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to make this dirty. Garmin is like heavy duty. It's like, if you touch me, I'm not going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. That's heavy duty. I can bang this. I can bang this against the wall, against my car. I was scared for my car than the watch. The screen is solid. It's scratch resistant. The rubber band, I will give it a 7 out of 10. It's a little harder compared to the Wahoo, but much softer than the Apple over time. And it feels like you're up to something when you have this on. It's like, are you going on a trip where you're like trying to discover a new planet or something? I don't even know the word to use for it. That's what Garmin makes you feel like. Coros feels a little cheaper on the Apex Pro specifically that I have on. The screen doesn't feel as sturdy, but the band, I would say, is a 9 out of 10. That is like, even, see how much stretchy that is compared to even the Wahoo? It is comfortable on your skin. It doesn't feel like you can make it as tight as you want. This is super tight. It doesn't feel like it's choking your wrist that much, even though it is super tight. It looks, when you look at it, you look like this is a watch that you do activity with. It doesn't look heavy duty. It looks like it's a little more on the softer side, which is also okay. That is the feel and look for all these watches. Battery life. Apple, without even having to wait, has the shortest battery life. But with that being said, Apple does so much. I didn't even consider that in the last watch review. When I'm sitting down right now, it has apps refreshing in the background because this is the LTE, so it's using data. It's a phone. It does more than just running. So if it was just specifically to cater to running, some of these watches do music and stuff, but I don't use it for that. I think the battery life would have been a little longer. Even though it would be a little longer, I would say 3-4 more hours longer. It still wouldn't be as close to them, but it would be much better. So the battery life on this, Apple claims it 18 hours for one full usage. I don't think it goes up to 18 hours. Running regularly, it can go the whole day. But if I run intensely, like 6-7 hours, I need to charge it because it's gonna go into the warning. You gotta charge the battery. Maybe 12 hours max I'll get out of it. But one thing that's really good, it charges really fast. It really does. From 0 to 80%, it's like 45 minutes. For 100%, it's like an hour. That's the Series 7. That's the battery life for Apple. Wahoo, battery life, it is really good. It's almost close to Coros. You guys are probably like, ooh, I can't wait for you to talk about Coros. It's almost close there. I think they do really well. They say that it gives you up to 24 hours of battery life and for up to 14 days if you put on this like mode where it doesn't use everything. But it does really well. It takes a few days for me to want to even charge it. Very good battery life. Garmin, battery life, according to Garmin, the battery life for the day is 36 hours on GPS mode. It's getting your full GPS. If you use it regularly, 48 hours. It can go up to 14 days and a regular, like this saving battery mode. And I do think they're solid, much better than Apple. All of them pretty much. Solid battery life on Garmin. But Coros, battery life, very good, very good. It has the longest battery life on all of these. Guys, I think everybody probably knew that already. According to Coros, you can get full GPS mode at 40 hours, up to 30 days on this like save mode. But if you do like this ultra max mode where like it use stuff but like it's being conservative, 100 hours. But the 30 days is just having it. Like I don't even know how that works. So it has the longest battery life, and I think Coros, that one you definitely told nothing but the truth, and the truth will set you free. The Sapphire stuff, I don't know about that. So all these 4 watches, I charged them to 100% completely to go run 30 miles, y'all. So after 30 miles, we're coming in at number 1, Coros, 90% left. Coming in at number 2, Wahoo, 85% left. Garmin coming in at number 3, 73% left. Last but not least, Apple coming in at number 4, 73% left. I had to charge it a second time because I did stop in the middle of my run to refuel. So I charged it because I knew the battery was getting depleted. It was gonna show me the warning and I don't wanna be in the middle of the run and it dies. So that being said though, the Apple had my music on the whole time. I was listening to music. It's also text message, like some text notification coming in from someone calling me, and there's notification. It's doing more than just focusing on the battery life or just running. So that reason, I think I did deplete it much quicker. And it's streaming music because of the LTE. This can stream music too. The Garmin can. I didn't check on the Coros. I don't think the Coros can, but I don't use it for that, just specific running. So because of that, it was at a disadvantage. So what I want to say is the best battery life of all of them, Coros. Coros is the king, the crown. And the reason that is, I did 2 weeks actually, because I've been running 2 to 3 miles a day just to let my body heal the right way, and then nothing to work for right now. I went over 2 weeks. Coros has battery left. Within a week, I had to charge Garmin. Garmin's already at 26% after the full week. And then Wahoo was like, okay, Coros, I'm competing with you. I still have, I'm 10% lower than you, but I don't have to be charged yet. And then with Apple, every night I have to charge the Apple. And I did over 2 weeks, and I just decided to charge this because it got to 20-some%. I could have got like 15, 16, 18 days out of it. So King Coros Apex Pro. I want to make a disclaimer though. The Garmin is the oldest, one of the oldest one. I ran across the country with it, with the Apple Series 5, and the Apple Series 5 was already beat up in battery life anyway, because I had it for a couple of years. And I would say it's gonna be almost a year next month having the Garmin, so maybe the battery life did take a little hit. And I feel like within a year using the Coros, charging all the time, I think it's gonna, that's technology, it's gonna take a little bit of a hit. So that's a disadvantage to the Garmin. It's the oldest one right here. The comfortable part about Coros is I can go on a week trip and don't have to worry about if I pick up my charger or not, if it's full. Apple, I have to remember. I could do it maybe to a certain extent with the Garmin, maybe, and then Wahoo even a little more than the Garmin. I've never used it in water situation. I've been in rain and snow a little bit, but let's talk about the depth that you can take these watches in. Apple said that you can go to 50 meters, which is around 164 feet. If I get my math right. If I don't, please leave in the comments below, but it's 50 meters. For Wahoo, they say 50 meters, which is similar to Apple. Garmin said 100 meters, and also Coros said 100 meters, which is like 320 something feet. So the Garmin, the Coros, you can, if you want to go really diving, you can take those down, and I don't do that. So just in case you want to know which one you want in terms of water resistance or waterproof. Last one of all, the biggest one, accuracy, consistency, which is the most accurate, which is the best. So this is according to my opinion for my use, so it may be different for somebody else, but I will say my Apple Series 5 was better to me, was more consistent than the Series 7, because from me to you guys right now, I could do it all day, whether it's wrong, whether it's not a mile or not, it will still tell me this is the mile mark. It will never say, oh, I gotta pass you guys for another 10 feet to be a mile. Very accurate. With this one, it's a little bit, I have to pass that a little bit more with the Series 7, and I don't know what it is. I have to update it, whatever it is. But guess what, y'all? I'm gonna jump directly to the Coros. The Coros has been the same accuracy point to point with the Series 5. Like from me to you, and Coros is always on point every time, consistency back and forth, and I'm just like, wow, this is what the Series 5 was doing, the same exact location that I would run, and I was just like, this has to be accurate. And I thought that Apple Watch was accurate comparing with other watches running with, in terms of accuracy. Maybe this distance to me and you might be short of a mile, but if I keep doing it, it just says a mile. With the Garmin, I would go me to you, I'll say a mile today, tomorrow it's gonna be like, I gotta go me to you for another point something over to get to a mile, so it wasn't consistent. But recently the Garmin has been very close to the Coros, and I think there was an automatic update, and I think they did something, because every time the Coros vibrates, zzz, mile mark, this goes within like a 3 second, 4 seconds, zzz, and then this one would be like zzz, and then Apple would be the last one. But the thing is though, the one that I have the most difficulty with being consistent, inconsistency, is not the Apple. Actually, the one that with the worst is the Wahoo, and the reason is it takes a long time for the GPS to pick up, and I'm patient, I'm very patient, but sometimes just like I'm just gonna hit start, it says you want to go without the full GPS, I'm like yes, because I'm wasting a lot of time, and it does that. And then sometime I'll in the beginning it'll be good, I'll come home, I'm still off by 0.1 when every watch has already hit the mile markers that I want to hit, and even a little over. So that one I would say Wahoo is the least consistency out of all of them in terms of distance in that. And I will say to you guys, if you're trying to be consistent, none of these watches is perfectly to the perfect way. There's no perfection in technology. There's always a bug or a hiccup. Watch is just to give us an idea, but also if you have a consistent idea, you know, worst case scenario, I'm not far away from a mile. Worst case scenario, I'm just past a mile, so you're just within that area. So I think that's important. And I've been uploading with all my runs, whether it's slower or faster. I do Coros. Sometimes, majority of the time, it's faster than all of the watches. There's been days where it's slower. Today, for example, was slower than the Garmin. Even the Garmin seems faster paced. I don't care to show the faster pace. I'm gonna just keep showing you guys the Coros. But every run is getting recorded with all 4 watches. And let me know if I'm missing anything that you guys want to hear within this. If you come to Hellah right now, Hellah, what watch should I buy right now with all these watches? They're very pricey. Yes, they are. I would tell you, do you have an Apple Watch already? Because most people do. If you do, 1000%, you don't need to go get another watch. You don't, because it has the running capability. It's more than just a running, it's not a running watch, it's a phone, but it does the job for it. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this new Series 7, I don't know what it is, updates, whatever it is, but it's still recording my runs, right? It's still letting me know how fast I'm running, it's still letting me know where I'm getting to, so you don't have to go break the bank to get another one. But if you don't have any, you want to start fresh, what should I get? Go get an entry-level watch. It doesn't have to be the $700 or anything like that. Get the lower, I heard the Forerunner of the Garmin is actually really good. I run with people who are showing me consistency time, and that's even with my Series 5 was showing consistent time with a lot of the Forerunner Garmins, which was like, well, okay, it's showing that Apple is on point, so that shows you that. But if you want to go in the Coros area, because of battery, you cannot beat that. They really are the best battery watch I've experienced. And I did hear that new Garmin that's out, there's another version that has even higher battery, but there's also the Coros that's the Vertex that's even higher quality. I think the Vertex price is almost similar to the Garmin Fenix 6 Pro because it's in the higher 7s. But I will say that go get what you think is affordable, and if you like these price ranges out of these 4 watches, what would I recommend to you right now? It hurts to say this because I love my Apple Watch. Every run has been on the Apple Watch, but I would say that consistency in battery life. Battery life is important. Coros. But I will say to you though, I cannot live without my Apple Watch. If you come to me and say, Hellah, you can only have one watch, you only have to stick to that, I'm going back to the OG, the Apple Watch. I cannot live without it. You want to know the reason? The reason is A, that's when the run streak started with. But B, she can call and check on me. Hello, where are you? Are you okay? I'm okay. I can listen to music. I can call people. You can use GPS and these to find your way if you get lost. But the most important, I can take a huge fall. If I don't respond within a certain amount of a minute or two, it dials 911 for me. And then they find me where I'm at. So Apple is beyond than just this thing where we think about only exercise. It's innovation. It allows us to go at a level where we never imagined we can be as a human being. So for my safety, if my blood pressure, my heart rate is irregular, even though it's not always the accurate heart rate reader, and none of these watches are without a chest piece, it will have an idea. It will ask you, are you okay? If you're not okay, if you're not responding, it's gonna call the authorities. They're gonna find you. I've seen videos and stories where someone took a fall and they were knocked out, but Apple saved their life. So I cannot go without my Apple Watch. So let me know if I'm missing anything for you guys. This is what I have for you. I hope I answered your question. One thing I'm gonna leave you with: if you're struggling with something, that is okay, as long as you're giving your best. And remember, your best varies every single day. So just do your best and be consistent. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Let's get it. Let's go.